Good morning. Hope you have a hot cup of coffee and a warm scone. We're back here on the morning show, and a big thanks to Middle Park Medical Center, keeping life grand, right here in Grand County, one of our key sponsors. So we're extremely appreciative for Middle Park Medical Center. Hanging out with former Senator Al Weier, and honor to have you on the show, Al. Thanks so much for coming by.
Thanks, Ryan. It's great to be here.
So, former senator, what makes you a former senator? What happened?
Let me start with my legislative history. In 2000, after wrapping up our business affairs here in Grand County, we had owned the Viking for a while and sold it in '96 to Chris and Sue Seaman. And we had owned the ski shop at the base of Winter Park Mary Jane on the Mary Jane side of the complex, the Golden Spike, for 20 years, and we'd wrapped that all up in 2000. I was casting about for something to do.
So you weren't exactly new to town at this time.
No, I moved to town in 1972, and my wife moved here in '73.
You're a true local. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
You got 44 years under your belt.
I'm not a native, but my kids are, but I've been here longer. So anyway, in 2000...
So was Mary Jane even there in '72?
No, it was there in '75.
So you were here for the start of Mary Jane.
I worked on the road crew for Mary Jane for Morrow's.
Did you really?
Yes, I did. My first summer job in town was working for Morrow and Sons.
Long-term entity up here.
Steve, yeah. And that's a whole nother story. I built the road into Mary Jane and probably have driven more miles on it over a 20-year period going back and forth to the ski shop than anybody in town.
So you've seen a few changes to Winter Park.
Winter Park has changed a lot.
Yeah.
It has. But anyway.
For the better or what?
Oh, yeah, of course.
No, of course.
Well, when I first came to town, our first ski shop is where George Bernardi's business is now, Active Images, or is that what it's called? Active Images T-shirts. It was formerly a mobile station, and Gene and I remodeled 2 grease bays within that mobile station and turned our first ski shop in 1976, we were 26 years old, into a ski shop in that old gas station. And back in those days, to try and keep business open in the summer was really difficult because dogs literally would sleep in the middle of Highway 40 in the summer because there was no traffic. There was nothing going on.
It wasn't. I know now they've put a lot of effort into making this a year-round tourism destination.
Well, absolutely. That's the icing on the cake for ski areas, ski resorts is summer business now.
So you made the gas station a ski shop, and the rest is history.
That was our first shop.
Took over Base Mary Jane after that got opened?
We did. The Gorsuches from Vail had the first lease of 7 years, and at the end of that 7-year lease, the skier anticipated the Gorsuch would continue and renew. And they found out at the last minute, like in October, before the ski area was due to open, that Gorsuch didn't plan to continue. And so I happened to be having a conversation with somebody from Winter Park and found out the lease was up. And Jerry Groswald came to me and said, well, can you put a ski shop together in 60 days? Which we did.
You only had one answer, yes.
Yeah, which we did.
So are you still skiing?
You know, my answer is yes. I just haven't done it for about 12 years. But I intend to. I ski almost every day. I almost skied yesterday. I almost skied the day before
ice
that.
Or what?
No, I almost skied.
You almost. That's how I tell my friends. I've almost been to Red Rocks to see every band in this, but I've never been there. You know.
I know.
Someday.
So yeah, I will ski again sometime in the future. It just hasn't been that convenient with what's been going
on
in my career. You know, standing in line on weekends is not something I relish, and for the past 12 or 15 years, that's the only opportunity I had was weekends. So that just didn't work. And for a guy that had a locker at the base of the Mary Jane, skis 30 and a reserved parking space.
So you watching Downton Abbey, or what do you do with your free time?
Well, I'm running for office again, which is where we were headed a little bit ago.
Let's bring that back. You are a former senator. So after all your long-term local, we finally got great representation. You were at the House for, 8 years?
I was in the House for 8 years, was elected in 2000, served a full term limit from 2000 to 2008, ran for the Senate, was elected.
Why go to Senate as opposed to the House?
because you can only serve 8 years.
Oh, you were done. You're done with the House, but
I was
you
done
can
with the House.
serve in the Senate.
But I could serve in the Senate, and
Okay.
the Senate seat happened to be open. Then Senator Taylor was term limited from Steamboat Springs, was term limited in that seat. So I ran for the Senate seat, Senate District 8, and was elected and served 2 years in the Senate, at which time Governor Hickenlooper was elected. And given the fact that I had been the champion of tourism during my entire legislative career, the governor called on me to take over the directorship of the Colorado Tourism Office, which I did for almost 5
you
years.
say yes, huh?
Yeah, which I did for almost 5 years. Yes, of course. I was thrilled and honored to do it, and the office really did well during those 5 years, and I give my staff the credit.
So your term
for that.
didn't even complete when he said, "Hey, we need you. We're going to the
No,
Colorado."
he had just been elected.
Oh, okay.
yeah, but yes, I was in the middle of my term.
You were in the middle of your term, so it wasn't even elected out
I
of the
was 2
Senate.
years into a 4-year
Okay.
term.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk a little more about the Colorado Tourism Board.
I can't wait, thank God.
All right, once again, we're hanging out with Al White, former senator and head of Colorado Tourism Board, and again, a big thanks to Middle Park Medical Center for all they do for us. We'll be back shortly.
Middle Park Medical Center is your hometown provider for family care and surgical services. We are committed to providing the best care for every person, mind, body, and spirit. Middle Park Medical Center, keeping life grand.